Now we will learn about selecting. As you know, if you want to select a single object, you have to click on whichever you want to select. But if you want to have more objects selected at the same time, you have to keep Ctrl pressed and then click on all the objects that you want. If by mistake you have selected something that you don't want to select, you keep Alt pressed and click on objects you no longer want to be selected. And of course, as you already know, if you click somewhere near the objects, it will just deselect everything that you had. Another option of selecting is by going to Select by Name and choosing which object you want to select. This is going to be a lot more useful when you will work with a lot of objects in your scene. Of course, another thing you will have to do to make this way of selecting easier is to name the objects when you're creating them. I will press Cancel for now and go select my sphere, and by going to Name and Color, I will just write my sphere, for example. If I want to change the color, although please keep in mind that the color of an object in viewport is not the same as the material of the render. This is just a representation so that you can make an easier difference between objects. For example, if you want to make all the furniture in your project one color, all the bathroom objects another color, and so on. So now that I changed the name of my object, I will go again to Select by Name and search for my sphere. This is also useful if you want to select an object by color. For now I only have the name criteria, but if I right click on this Name tab and go to Configure Columns, I can choose Color, then drag it here near the Name tab, and now I have two criteria to choose from. So I can see my pink sphere, but the other objects don't have a color assigned, so it's just an empty space for now. We also have this button which chooses the type of selection that we can make. For example, by pressing rectangular selection region, I can select any object that touches the rectangle, but if I press on this window crossing button, it only selects the objects that fit completely in the rectangle. But the rectangular selection region is not the only way to select. By keeping this button pressed a little longer, I can find the rest of the selection methods like circular, fence, lasso, or spray. This type of selections are more useful for sub-elements. For now, this object is not a sub-element, it is a primitive object. So I will right-click on it, convert to editable poly. And now I choose the circular selection region while being able to select polygons, which are these little sub-elements all over the sphere. I will be able to choose only some of them to be selected pretty easily. Same for fence, as you can see, or for lasso, or for spray. For now we won't work with sub-elements, so I will just go back to rectangular selection and let it be this way for now. This is kind of everything that I can tell you about selecting in 3ds Max. Also, be careful about pressing space, because by doing this it will lock selection toggle. That means that if I have a sphere selected, it will not allow me to select anything else. Also, check us out on Instagram and Facebook for the latest updates on what we're gonna do next.